This world shall know pain.
Yo guys, it's your homie Zeno Pain. I'd like to welcome you all to another Black Desert Online video, and in today's video we're going to be going over the Drakania Succession. I got you guys when Awakening comes out. Once I dabble with it a little bit, but other than that, let's go ahead and jump into this Succession guide. Alright, we're going to go ahead and begin this guide with basic Drakania Movement. Now we do have Dragon Walk. That's going to be your SA, your simple dash left to right. Then we have Refraction, which is going to give you your iframe. This, I recommend using this in PvP situations and in PvE situations where you must avoid damage or else you will die. Then we have Markthanan's Wings, which is a double dash in the air, double jump as you're going forward and you go across the screen. And then we have Dragon Advance 3. Now, the thing is that the game fails to tell you is that you can pair Dragon Advance 3 with Markthanan's Wings. So it looks something like this. And you're able to get across the map even faster. Now, Dragon Walk, Markthanan's Wings, Dragon Advance 3 into Markthanan's Wings, you'll be utilizing those most of all when you're going from mob to mob in a PvE situation, while utilizing Refraction in PvE. I'm going to go ahead and show you these movements here on the list. So first we have Dragon Walk. Then after that we have Refraction, which is her iframe. Then we have Dragon Advance 3, which then flows into Markthanan's Wings, and it looks like that. These are the basic movements for Drakania. Next up, we're going over Drakania class buffs. Now, she has a couple. She does have a DP plus 20 constantly when she's blocking. So if you block before you go into a situation, you'll get that DP plus 20 buff. Then she also has Abyssal Advance. I'm going to go ahead and show you in the skill menu. It's a rebam. Now this gives you 10% of max HP recovered to self, movement speed plus 15% for 15 seconds to self and friends, and critical rate plus 24% for 15 seconds for self and allies. You do have to ring slot this, and I have it as my up on my D-pad, and it looks something like that. So as long as you're in a platoon or in a party, you'll be able to give that buff to your teammates as well. We also have Prime Dragon's Fury. Now this gives you AP plus 30 for 30 seconds, accuracy rate plus 15% for 30 seconds, attack speed plus 15% for 30 seconds. This will literally give you a 15 second timer, which allows you to use whatever skill you want to utilize that uses ions. So it's basically a free infinite ions ability to use for 15 seconds, and then once the 15 seconds is off, you will have to get your own ions charged by doing it yourself. You guys are going to be using this in between or before or after combos with the Drakania, and initiate with this in PvP situations. And then she also has a third one, which is the Shattered Dragon's Malice. Now what this is the Drakania's own church buff. Now you must heat Dragon Scale Fossil times 15 in order to obtain Shattered Dragon's Malice, and you must activate it in the skill menu before you can even make them. Now you must be level 60 with Drakania in order to unlock this. Now every single Drakania out there should be utilizing Dragon Scale Fossils. There should be no reason why, if you're a Drakania main, you should be putting them on the CM. Just keep them, hoard them, make yourself as many of these Dragon Scale Fossils as you possibly can. And also, being it is Drakania's own church buff that she could pop wherever she is and whenever she wants, it does not stack with the actual church buff. Next up, we're going to go ahead and go over skill add-ons and revamps. So right here I do have my skill add-ons pulled up. We have Brimbolt Strike 1 with extra damage to humans plus 15, all DP negative 20. Then Markthanan Scale 1, all DP plus 20, movement speed negative 10%. Then Brimbolt Raise 1, all DP plus 15, and attack and casting speed plus 7%. Then Blazing Strike 1, attack casting speed plus 7%, 100 bleeding damage per 3 seconds. Then we have Abyssal Fang, attack casting speed plus 7%, all DP negative 15. And then we have Dragon's Maw 1, all accuracy rates plus 4%, and then all evasion rates negative 4%. Now, the advice that I usually give for skill add-ons is go ahead and pick what works for you. No specific skill add-on is going to work for everybody. Now, you guys can go ahead and copy me if you guys want, but what I recommend is you guys finding out what skills you utilize the most on your Drakania, and then going about the skill add-ons that way. Now we're going to go ahead and go over some rebams. Now, the rebams that I have is Markthanan's Fang, which gives you floating air attack on good hits. And then we have Eviscerating Wings, which gives you front guard before the attack, stun on good hits, and also there's no collision while moving. So when you guys are going across the screen, you can either use this as initiation or just to get out really fast. Then next we have Abyssal Advance. Now this is kind of like a little toss-up. It just depends on what type of player you are. I chose Abyssal Advance because it is the 10% of max HP recovered to self, movement speed plus 15% for you and your friends, and critical rate plus 24% for you and your friends. The buff that this gives is just so much better, whether it's for you solo or when you're in a group. Just either way, it just seems a lot better than Abyssal Dominion, which has a very short range but also has super armor, down attack, and debuffs your enemy severely. But when it comes to this, it's situational, so if you want, go ahead and choose one or the other, try it out, and then go based off of that. But like I said, I picked Abyssal Advance because the buffs that Abyssal Advance gives are so much better than the debuffs that Abyssal Dominion gives. Alright, next up we're going to be going over your main skill ion builders. Now these are the ones that you should be utilizing in every single one of your combos, no matter what, so you guys can keep those ions up, because ions are very important. So first we have Brim Bolt's Raise, which is going to be Drakania's bread and butter, because you absolutely do not have to hit anything with this in order to build ions. Now with everything else that I'm going to go over, you have to make sure you hit a target in order to charge those ions. Next, we do have Abyssal Fang, which is also another bread and butter move that allows you to cancel in between your flows and still continuously flow into other skills, so that way you can keep her combo up and her SA exchange as needed whenever it even comes to like PvP or PvE situations. Now with Abyssal Fang though, is you have to combo up with something and then use Abyssal Fang after. So see, I'm pressing X right now, it doesn't do anything, but if I do basic attack X, her Abyssal Fang comes out, which is her shard. It absorbs those ions and build those up. Next we do have Skewer. Skewer is just as simply as pressing RT that will build ions for you as well. And then we have Markthanan Scale, which is your LTLB, and it's that very slow move. Very rarely will you use this in PvP situations, but utilize it heavily in PvE situations. Now for those of you wondering how I know this, if you press start, character go into skills, you can scroll all the way down and you go to Prime Bloodthirst. Now you unlock this at 56 as soon as you get done with her succession, and the ion building mechanic starts after you finish her succession quest at level 56. But if you come over here to Prime Bloodthirst, it lists every single move that will stockpile ions. And as I said before, we do have Prime Abyssal Fang, which restores 6 ions on hit, Prime Skewer, which restores 3 ions on hit, Brimbolt Raise, 3 ions upon using the skill, Markthanan Scale, max 12 ions when maintaining the skill. Then we have Prime Dragon's Fury, 18 ions upon using the skill. Then we have Black Spirit Prime Blazing Strike, 5 ions upon using the skill. And it will also tell you which moves consume those said ions. Next up, we're going to go ahead and jump into some Drakania combos. Now when it comes to her combos, you guys are going to have to figure out what combo best suits you. There is multiple combos, but I'm going to go ahead and list every single one of the openers. Now every single one of the openers will either end up going into Abyssal Fang as the second, or will go into Brim Bolt's Raise as the second, and then into the Fang. Also, you can begin with one of our openers, which is Brim Bolt's Raise. Next, we do have Dragon Walk 3, Refraction 2, although this is an iframe, so you guys may want to utilize this by case. Then we have Soaring Assault, then Markthanan's Wings. Then we also have Dragon's Maw, and then Omni Slash. Now for charge abilities, you can utilize either a full charge or a short charge. Now the thing is with the whole charging abilities is if you have no ions, you have to charge your ability to maximum charge in order to do full damage with that skill. Now if you have ions already built up, you can do short charges of each and every single one of those abilities that you have to charge and still do the maximum amount of power. That's the reason why you guys have to keep your ions up, so that way you're not sitting there like a sitting duck waiting to get smacked. That way you can just flow into flow into flow into flow, so that way you can utilize her to her utmost potential when it comes to making that trash per hour and also PvPing, because we all know she's an SA trading monster. Now Drakania, also I do want to say that she's not very good at 1v1s. She can hold her own, but she is built more for large scale PvP. Now I'm going to go ahead and jump into a combo that I love utilizing the most. Again, come up with your own combos, but if you like what you see, go ahead and try to copy it. Now don't worry, I'm going to show you in real time. First skill that I begin with is Brim Bolt's Raise. Then I go into Abyssal Fang, into Brim Bolt Strike, which flows into Brim Bolt's Wave, into Markthanan's Flourish, into Markthanan's Dominion, into Markthanan's Scale, then into Prime Ascent, and then finally into Sundering Claw. Now if you're lacking in ions anywhere in between your combo, or maybe you're trying to copy mine, you can throw Abyssal Fang into that combo anywhere except for Markthanan's Scale. If you throw it in there, it's going to be kind of slow. So if you throw Abyssal Fang into anything else other than the Scale, you'll be 100% fine. And then sometimes I'll throw in an Abyssal Advance, you know, either buff me or my party up, and then I throw in a Markthanan's Fang. But with these are your rebams, and you do have to ring slot them. So I do occasionally throw those in there every once in a while. And now we're going to go ahead and jump to showing you guys how it will look like when you guys flow it all together. Also, a little side note, I forgot to mention while making the video, we have Markthanan's Breath 3. You're going to be utilizing this a lot on your Drakania as well. Beans, it gives her an accuracy rate plus 50%, maximum 10 targets. Like even if you're below the level requirement for a monster mob, it's pretty much going to hit them. That pretty much covers our Drakania succession guide. I hope this guide helps you guys immensely, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are really confused when it comes to Drakania, saying that her PvE's trash and her PvP's good. But believe it or not, her PvE is on par with a Guardian. I can pull 14k trash loot at trees solo with my Guardian, while also pulling 14k trash loot on my Drakania. No aggres. So if you guys utilize her combos and keep her ions charged at all times, she can make you guys immense money. She does have a little more difficulty than compared to Guardian, but if you end up having that friend that also feels this way that I just told you that I see that happens on the game, that people talk about her that way, feel free to send them this guide. Hopefully it helps them out. If you guys have any more questions, let me know down in the comment section. And also I'll be linking my Discord in the description as well. So if you guys want a more in-person touch, we do VC, you know, voice chat and stuff like that. Feel free to join my Discord. Like I said, it's in the description below. Grab your role. We do have a bot in the Discord, or I can go ahead and give you said role. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more Black Desert Online content such as lore, guides, and tutorials. Other than that, your homie Xeno Pain out. Peace!